I just talk a little bit about how we entered that conversation around finances, knowing because we that was something we had even talked about last week in this when we were talking about there was stress, like thinking about it. And I think it's also something that you and I both felt for like throughout this last 6 months. And we we haven't not talked about it, obviously, but we hadn't had the same type of where we intentionally carved out this space to do it. And so we did that on the other day, whatever day that was. We did that and yeah, I think having that part of the process, so similar to the way that we did some reflection and celebration and then some imagining, we also opened it up to what are you feeling when it comes to financial stuff? What is your comfort level here? Where are you having anxiety? What are your fears around it? What are some things that yeah, just really laying it out and without needing to put any numbers behind anything, we came to a space where I know for me I was able to share the fears that I had around where we were at now and of like not having if I of still doing some of my marketing work, knowing that without that I wasn't going to feel as safe and secure and the kind of the necessity in that and like the tension that I had been feeling of still having to do that, but still like knowing in my like knowing that it's worth the risk, you know? Um, yeah, so it was good because then it kind of set us up for the next step. But I'd love to hear how you felt about that process.
Yeah, I think talking about money is one of those very difficult. Some of it is cultural, some of it personal. It's very difficult for me to have that conversation. I noticed that when I was building my coaching practice to talk to people about, okay, this is my rate, I was like very much like, yes, let's,
Yeah.
if you want. And still there's more work to do. I was able to grow a lot in coaching to be able to talk to people because I had to um, get clients and get paid for it. But yes, I noticed how difficult it was as we were getting closer to it, and I was noticing, oh, there are some things that it needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
And if I don't talk about it, it creates resentment. Because
Mhm.
that's my pattern. I don't
Yep.
talk about
Mine too.
things, and then it creates resentment, and it's so unfair to the other person because
Yeah.
then my brain creates different stories.
Mhm.
Um, but I think something that helped me like a couple days before, because we knew we are going to talk about it, was I did I looked at, okay, Sumad, we're gonna do this together next year. It's just we need to figure out how we are gonna do it together. It's not this, it's part of our growing and learning and co-creating, and finance is another part of this startup. And it is, as one way of looking at it, is this scary thing that we need to talk about, but also it is creates some urgency that gets us to be creative and come up with solutions to get there earlier if we need to. Also, it requires me to be honest about, yeah, the concerns that I have that, oh, we said we're gonna be full time next year, and are you gonna still do your client work? And I spend this much money in last year. Am I putting too much into this? And I think that conversation, just first of all, just being heard, it
Mhm.
it helps a lot. And the way it was received by you, it was yeah, it was just, I think a lot of it just got resolved by me sharing, oh, these thoughts and feelings sometimes comes up. And then coming up with a solution around that and sharing like, hey, this is my situation, this is how I do it, and then getting realigned and say, okay, let's do it now. We are completely aligned on the finances of last year and how we want to sort this out. And for next year, we are completely aligned how much we can commit and by when we need to raise money or have the revenue coming through. And I'm not worried, even if we don't get there, I'm sure we will find a solution. But right now, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, next 3 months, we need to be creative. We need to come up with different ideas so we can get there and
Mhm.
so we can continue doing this. So I think for me, the big part was those sharing of those feelings and thoughts. Because
Yeah.
if it wasn't shared, I feel like it was kind of stuck and then pushed back, and I would forget about them, but it would create some kind of resentment.
Mhm.
And that created so much more, again, alignment for me, more trust, more excitement that, okay, now let's do it.
Yeah.
And that block is has moved through. But it is a difficult conversation. At least for me, it's very difficult. It was like 2, 3 days that before that, I'm like, okay, so how should we start this conversation? And but yeah, what helped me was kind of grounding in this that, okay, we're gonna do this together
Yeah.
for the next year. This is not about our partnership. We're gonna figure this out together.
Yeah.
We just need to talk through it and navigate it and see how can we do this together. Because
Yeah.
I feel like my maybe deep inside my fear was, I don't know, like what is there, but maybe um, some conflicts and some, those conversations about money creating some conflict and
Yeah.
some issue in our relationship and creating together. But then when I grounded myself into that, no, no, we're gonna do this next year together. This is just another conversation that is important and it's part of our growth as founders. It's a big any business, that's a big main part of it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my story.
Yeah, I think it really helped hearing all of that from you. And that made me, because I was like, I don't even know how the best way to navigate this. But hearing how you came to that point of now feeling that a little bit more comfortable with sharing, that actually helped me get to that point because I didn't stop and think, okay, well, what are my I had fears around it, of course, but a lot of it was coming from a place of like my personal fears. And so when you came into it and saying just like how we're going to do this together, it took a lot of it sort of it helped clear the way for me to be able to share my personal fears and but with like a lot less anxiety around it. And so you sharing helped me to share and open up to it about that. And then the really cool thing was that we took what we imagined together in from the beginning of the conversation, and then we took, okay, we know in 3 months there's some things that we need some signals that this will there we have a thing that's going to bring in something so that this is sustainable. And we were able to bring those together really well to start building those goals and milestones for next year. And just like you said, in this in startup the startup world, and especially as early on as we are, those milestones might not look exactly that same as we get into it. We could need to have this conversation. We're going to have this conversation again and again, but there is that having that alignment first, having the space, and then having the hard conversations, hard, uncomfortable conversations, and then building from that, like our goals together. It was such a good process that I'm so excited, and I'll take that and continue that conversation and really and then like be able to share this with our team too. Like I can't wait.
Yes, yeah, I hear you. I think that I agree. I think that was a very good approach to just start big picture, get alignment,
Yeah.
along the same things that, hey, we're gonna do this together. Now, this is one part of it that we need to figure out within that versus like, hey, let's talk about money. Like
Yeah.
how and being scared, like too scared child who was like, oh, what should I do? What should we do?
Mhm.
And that's yeah, being I think it's a good approach. I feel like it's something that a lot of other founders can use as well,
Yeah.
um, to have this conversation, to get out of the psychology of the scarcity of money, while we're
Mhm.
really addressing the real concerns and the facts that, hey, this is our burn rate, this
Yeah.
is how much saving I have, this is the time that we need to. Those are real, but those are numbers. They don't need to have so much emotions around it.
Yeah.
Once we
Yeah.
start from this scared person that is talking about this, it's so hard to get to a clear solution. And that's one way to diffuse it in a way and look at it big picture, alignment, and excitement. And then there is creative space. Then we can come up with so
Yeah.
many ways to get there.
Yeah.
Especially in this startup journey, it's one of the most creative paths that I see other founders every week. They're like, "Oh, we pivot to this, and we
Yeah.
pivot to that, and then we change it this way, and we figured out like so many different already. Like we have like 10 different ideas of how to go to market and try different things and different angles. It's yeah, it's one of those things that is not necessarily that linear that in three
Yeah.
months um the way we are going is gonna get there. It's just it requires staying um in that mindset of
Mhm.
and being creative and keep getting back because I know we're gonna keep getting scared,
Yeah.
and that's our work to both support each other to get back. Like I've recently been a few times scared, and then in our meeting I feel like you are holding a space in a way that I get back and I'm like, okay, everything is fine, and vice versa.
Same.
And that
Yeah.
that that helps us to navigate those things
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I also noticed that the work that we're doing in this relationship has helped me in other relationships in my life too. So you really start to understand that like just how valuable doing this is in all spaces. But yeah, and so vice versa, like the work that you're doing in your personal relationships is also a lot of times the work you need to do in your professional relationships because this is such a core relationship. And if we had not done the work as if it were a relationship, if we had done the
Yeah.
work as if we're just co-founders, it wouldn't have been the same.
Mhm. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I hear you completely. And I think for me, I'm not in a romantic relationship now. And I was like, okay, this recently I was like, okay, this is teaching me some things that I want to have in my next
Yeah.
relationship. Uh, and and yeah, I think a few people told me sometimes the co-founder relationship outlasts a few of like marriages. Some people, they go through those things. But yes, I think I totally agree. It's such a good growth journey for me
Yeah.
as we're building this.
Yeah.
And let's just think, oh, that's how you co-create with someone.
Yeah. Well, okay. Now I feel like this was a really, really great conversation again. And you're off on to go to your meditation retreat. And so we will meet one more time. We're gonna have a team meeting on Monday. And of course, you and I are gonna connect and we're gonna meet again to do a little bit more 2026 planning this week. And yeah, and then my goal, at least for like you going into Monday or coming out of like Monday's meeting, is that all of this you can leave right there, right here. You can leave it with me, you can leave it with our team, and that you can really, really get get really, really fully enmesh yourself in this meditation experience. That is my wish for you. I know
Yes,
it's not
yeah.
easy, but
I
yeah.
think it's not gonna be easy because I was today after our conversation on the B2B, I was like, oh, I need to build this. I need to build this. Can I take my laptop there? I'm like, okay, no, the
No.
meditation, I'm gonna think about it and plan it. And when I come out, then I get to do it. I'm like, what? 10 days is a long time. So already it's in a good way, like my creative side
Mhm.
and energized, but I feel like in general, regardless, I'm gonna have a hard time to, it's gonna take a few days for my brain to
Yeah.
uh, calm down. And it's like, okay, these are all illusions. Just be with yourself. Um, but yes, thanks. I appreciate that you are so thoughtful that you're like, okay, I want to um you want to give me that or thinking about me going to that meditation retreat. That means a lot to me. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll be back in a couple weeks. But yeah,
Oh, yes.
happy holidays, happy New Year, all those things.
Yes. Let's do it for another year. I'm very
Let's
excited
do
for
this.
next year. And
Me too.
yeah.
Yeah. Should we go hands in? Oh
Yeah.
wait, should we do it? Let's go hands in. Let's do that. This is our new
Okay.
thing. I'm trying to teach everyone. Okay, ready? Hands.
Yes.
Okay. And then on three, insights out. Okay. All
Yes.
right. One, two, three.
Insights
Insights
out.
out. All right. I'll talk to you later.
I just noticed my nails are so long.
Bye.